So, being in my later 20s, I have made plenty of mistakes within my own life, many of which I knew they were wrong while I was doing them. In many ways, it was like watching my own slow motion train wreck, and in the back of my mind, I could hear my voice saying, Andrew, don't do this. Andrew, this is not what you want, and if you continue down this road, you're gonna get hurt. But me being me, I didn't listen. And I would chase whatever it is that I was chasing, and it hurt me in the end. And so in a lot of ways, I get it. When the Apostle Paul writes in Romans 7 that he doesn't understand his own behavior, that he won't do the things that he wants to do, and yet he does the things that he hates. See, in that passage, he alludes to this idea that there's a struggle within us. And I think all Christians would agree that there is something in us that causes us to do things that we really don't want to do, and yet we won't do things that we know that we should be doing. It's this struggle that plagues us for all of our days. Now, luckily, the Bible does explain what that is. As a matter of fact, Paul explains in Galatians 5 that there's this thing called the flesh and the spirit. Think of it like this. When we're born, we are born with the sinful nature. And that nature runs unopposed until we come to know Christ. But while it's unopposed, there's no sense of urgency, there's no sense of struggle because there's nothing to struggle against. But when we are introduced to a new nature, when we're given the capability to live for a new king, Jesus, instead of ourselves, that's when conflict begins to arise because you must decide, who are you going to live for? Are you going to live for Jesus or are you going to live for yourself? And if you're thinking about it, that is a conflict that you're going to have inside yourself from now until you die. Now that could sound incredibly defeating, but there is a solution, thank God. And later on in the series, we're going to talk about that. But for now, I want you to consider this one thing. If you know that there are two natures that exist inside of you, what nature are you going to feed? Or what nature are you going to reinforce? You see, if there are two competing kings inside of you, which one will you submit to? If you have a nature that you know that you should be feeding into, but you're not, you know that's going to lose. You see, the book of Galatians was written because this was a church that was on the right path, that was doing great things, but eventually when the Apostle Paul left, false teachers came in and started teaching wrong things, started influencing the people to essentially feed the wrong nature. And so they fell away from what they knew to be true. So for us today, what nature do you feed? Who or what do you allow to speak into your life? Because if you're tired of running from God, if you're tired of feeling defeated, maybe it's time to look at who you allow to influence your life.